everybody, and welcome back to Driver Career Mode on F1 23 Season 1, Race 2. But if you missed the last one, here's a quick overview of what happened. Be sure to go check that one out. We had a shaky start, but then we made contact with Lance Stroll as we went for a bit of an audacious dive bomb into the final corner at Miami. We also almost made contact with Albon, our teammate, before having a huge snap of oversteer on the exit. And as the race progressed, things got better, and we ended up having quite a good battle with Tsunoda. So if you missed that, go check out the full episode. You can see on my profile. But for now, let's head into Imola for round 2. No longer a sprint race this year. So straight into the Grand Prix, straight into qualifying. Let's see what we can do in the Williams. We're following Josh Harris. If you haven't sort of grasped the story yet, a new rookie in the Williams team, working his way up. He's in the Mercedes Young Driver Academy, hoping maybe one day to get a seat with Mercedes. So we'll see how things progress. But on to qualifying at Imola for now, and you can see on my first lap down the straight, I forgot to turn on my ERS. So I'm not expecting much from this lap. That said, it's obviously early in the session, so not too many people have set a lap. We're sat in P6, which I think is because we're the 6th car out on track. So as we cross the line in a minute, we will obviously be P6, I would imagine, but I don't expect too much given that we went down the entire straight with no battery whatsoever. But up to P3, 1.2 seconds off the overall pace of Verstappen, which is to be expected. We're in a lower midfield car. I say lower midfield. It was pretty competitive in Miami, so I'm going to be hoping to score some points this time as we go for another lap, this time remembering to turn on the ERS, which is crucial in qualifying, as you will well know. Into turn 1, nice and smooth around the first chicane. And currently sat in P10, but finding good pace. We've got 4 tenths up on the previous attempt. I would imagine most of that came down the main straight, but we take it. Across the line, up to P6. 5 tenths off Perez in the Red Bull, which is quite phenomenal. So I wonder if something happened to Perez on his lap as we head back out for our 3rd and final run in qualifying. We're doing short qualifying for this session. As you can see, we've got some traffic up ahead, having to stick to the left-hand side, which is not really the ideal line coming into turn 1. And that could have compromised us a little bit. You can see we're 6/100ths down. We do gain some of that time back as we head down into the middle sector. And you can see ahead there's a Haas that's about, hopefully, to get out of the way. But he doesn't get out of the way. I fully thought he was going to dive off to the right. Maybe just speed up a little bit to get out of my way, but that was probably naive of me given how the AI normally act in this game. So that's going to be the end of qualifying for us. We're in P8 at the moment, but we'll see what happens. Here's your result then for qualifying. Charles Leclerc takes a pole position for Ferrari at a home Grand Prix. Max Verstappen in 2nd place, and Sergio Perez completes the top 3. We are P10, which in the grand scheme of things, sure, it's a second off the pace, but I'll take it.
Welcome once again to the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari. The clue's in the name. This is very much Ferrari home turf, and the locals will be out in force today to support their team in what we hope will be a magnificent spectacle of motorsport. On then to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. 3.1 miles of track at Imola, featuring 19 turns, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Remember that Imola differs from most other Formula 1 tracks as it's taken anti-clockwise. Let's hope nobody forgets that today. The exit from turn 18 will probably be the setup for many of today's overtakes, leading as it does into the longest straight on the circuit and its only DRS zone. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Harris, Stroll, Ocon, Bottas, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Oscar Piastri, Joe, Albon, Magnussen and Nick de Vries. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race.
All right, here we are then on the grid for the second round of our first season in this career mode. Soft medium is going to be the strategy. Seems like a lot of people around us are thinking the same thing. Of course, we're doing 35% races in this season, and we'll perhaps change that to 50% as we move through the seasons and progress. I think the 50% is going to be better because it allows for much more recovery. If you mess up, you make a mistake, there's more time, right? So, but I wanted to try the 35. I've never obviously done that before, given that it's a brand new feature in this game. So we are doing that for this season, and we'll see how it goes. We may up them to 50 as we move on. However, focusing on this race, P10 in the points to start. We just need to hold on. It's all we need. We just need to hold on and get points, or a point.
Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out.
Given that Alex has yet to score a point, he's down at the back. Things are looking good as we wait for the 5 red lights here in Imola. And we are underway for our second ever race on F123. And my goodness, it was a terrible start. Like I just said, we've got to hold on and straight back to P12 off the start. But what can we do as we head down into turn 1 on the outside? Probably not the ideal place, although we do get the inside line for the next corner. Back up into P10 where we started. You can see up the front, Charles Leclerc leading the way from the 2 Red Bull cars. The Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton and George Russell up there in the mix as well, but it's a Ferrari 1-4 and a Red Bull 2-3. Here's Lance Stroll going toe-to-toe with Tsunoda. Ocon just behind us, and we're going to have to be looking in those mirrors quite often, I think, as we head through the first lap. Alonso and Gasly ahead of us. The Alpine is quicker than the Williams, so I would imagine as the race goes on, as we get a bit of a slide on, but Alonso's been boxed in by a fight that's happening up there. Could we take this opportunity, perhaps? No, we're just going to give him a little bump instead. I think my thought process at the time was we don't want to stick our nose in there and get ourselves in trouble on that one. So just take it easy and see how things pan out. But maybe it was a missed opportunity because, let's face it, that Aston Martin is well out of position. He should be up there fighting for a podium. So Charles Leclerc goes across the line, setting the pace at a 1:21. That'll obviously come down, given that it's the first lap. And we might be looking for a move on Alonso here as we head down into turn 1. We're going to move to the outside, get on the brakes a little bit early, and unfortunately we can't get past the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin's very quick, very good under brakes as well, which is to be expected as we come, oh my goodness, over the sausage curb. Bit of dirt on the tyres. The marbles and the dirty tyres in this game are very punishing. Ocon slides his way past. Mark gets on the radio to encourage us to get the place back, which we will try and do. Look at the exit we had out of the chicane as we come down the hill into the penultimate 2 corners. Are we going to send it down the inside here? Yes, we are. Down the inside on Esteban Ocon and up back into P10. After 2 laps, we've held position, and that's not bad. We just need to keep that up for the rest of the race. As we move on, Alonso and Gasly having a little fight here, so this is beautiful on lap 4. We can maybe get in the mix here. I have noticed the AI don't hold each other up as much when they battle anymore, but we're going to have a look. Oh, on the inside of Gasly, he's up over the curb. That was very messy from both of us there, but he wanted the position, so did I, and neither of us really wanted to back out, so it is what it is, I guess. Look at the exit though. We're getting such good exits out of the tight corners on this game, and I love it. It means we can fight, and that's always a good thing. As we come down the hill, who's going to yield first? We are, because we don't want to have a big crash here. There's still a long way to go. Gasly holds the position for now, and we're sort of in our own fight here. We've got Alonso 2.5 seconds up the road, Ocon 3 seconds back, so it's just me and Gasly here fighting for, well, the fringe points, really. We'll take 2 points, though, as we come down the hill. We can't make this stick. Surely not on the outside as we come round the final corner. Can we get a good exit to get on the power? Oh, too early. On the power, too early, and we've spun it. Trying to get ourselves sorted. Oh, a bit of contact there with the freeze. Tried to rejoin safely, but also very conscious that I didn't want to waste tons of time waiting for them to come past. And yeah, we're trying to catch back up. And the tyres are so hot from the first spin that there's just no traction. That corner there felt like F122, where you just get on the power and you spin.
Course caution, the safety car's out.
Safety
keep an eye
car.
on the delta. We need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down, maintain positive delta.
Yep.
Okay, mate, we might need to look
Shut
at
up,
a new
Mark.
race strategy
I'm
after
trying to
that.
talk.
I've got some options for you, so go and check your MFD.
You might be wondering why I sat there for so long. The honest answer is I was considering a restart at that point. I was considering starting again. So I sat there for a while just like, damn, I was having such a good race. And then the safety car came out and I thought, you know what? I'll take it. So safety car's coming in on lap 7 and we are just going to catch the field. Now, if this was last year's game, we would have been in trouble there because we would have been speed limited. Thankfully, that's not a thing in this game. So we were able to keep going and we are going to catch the back of the pack before they get racing again. So we've got a lot of work to do. I don't know if we can get back in the points from here, if I'm being honest, with the pace of this car. We were just about hanging on with Gasly to fight for P9. But let's see what we can do. It's not over yet. We've gone onto medium tyres. We're going to try and take these to the end. Ooh, a bit choked up there on the exit. Went a bit too soon. Albon into the pit lane right after the safety car. Nice to see the AI hasn't changed. Russell's in as well, so that could change the complexion of this race quite a bit. There's about 4 cars in the pit lane there, right at the end of a safety car. So we're straight up to P13 and we haven't done anything. Piastri sends it on De Vries into turn 1 and he makes it stick. Very impressive. Can we capitalise on this as well? I don't know if we can. Sainz and Russell behind, who were at the front, don't forget, onto hard tyres. So they're thinking the mediums probably can't go to the end. Bottas around the outside on the Alpine. I think that's Ocon. And he's going to take the position. Piastri's got himself up into P11. We're sat in P13. It's looking up, given that a whole bunch of cars just pitted, and I did not expect them to. So we'll keep an eye on their progress. You can see on the mini-map in the left-hand side, all the cars that pitted are in their own little train. And we are quite far ahead. Down the inside on De Vries into the chicane. That's a bold move. And he sort of jumped out the way there. I'm not really sure why he did that, but that seems to be a trait of this AI as well. So we're going to try and minimise putting them in a position where they will do that, because it's just not very fun. We want them to be fighting with us where possible. And talking of fighting, and Piastri and Ocon are side by side into a corner where you really don't want to be side by side, because you need a good exit for this huge straight down into turn 1. And look how much we're gaining as we come down past Ocon on the left-hand side. Piastri's on the left-hand side. Are we going to go around the outside here into turn 1? Not quite. Piastri brakes very deep, but we are going to come through, almost taking out Ocon there. We get a warning for that, so thankfully just a warning, because that could have been very, very messy. But a huge double overtake there, and we got more fighting up ahead. Is that Magnussen, I think, on Albon? Nah, it can't be Albon. He's way back because he pitted. That's Alonso, maybe. It's Alonso in the Aston Martin, yes. So, well, we're back into the points. Round the outside on Bottas. Huge move. Can we make it stick, though? Up the hill, yes. Very, very good exit. Norris next. We're flying. I think this is the result that we're looking at here is obviously being helped by, 7 cars peeling into the pits after the safety car. That was huge. But nonetheless, what was looking at being a disaster class is turning into a bit of the opposite, to be honest, as we eye up Norris, try to get a really nice traction out of the corner, and we're going to chase him down. DRS being enabled again after that safety car. ERS on, down the main straight. Can we get past him here? I reckon we can, you know. We're going to move to the outside and try and swing it around the outside, but Magnussen's just ahead. Get on the brakes nice and early so we don't run into the back of him, and Norris decides he's going to brake deep and send it past Magnussen to put a car in between himself and myself. We're having a little look on the inside, but probably not wise here. Very messy on the second part of that chicane, and Bottas is thinking, oh, hello, I'll have a bit of that. But we're going to fend him off for now. On the way up the hill as we head into lap 12. DRS time. Give me another overtake. I need more overtakes, please. I'm feeling good. The car's feeling good. Inside, outside. I think it's going to be on the inside. We move to the inside. Get very late on the brakes. My goodness, that was not a example of perfection there at all. We get a warning for that. So 2 warnings now, I think. I don't know if these collision warnings count towards penalties. I would imagine they do, though. So we're probably going to have to be pretty careful. We've got a yellow flag up ahead. I think that's one of the Mercedes. It's got to be Hamilton, given that Russell's all the way back in that pack that pitted. So Hamilton stopped or has spun. Looks like he's pulling over. Hamilton is out of this race, and that hands us another position. Thank you very much.
Okay,
P7.
Let's get back up to racing
I
speed.
will take that. And if you look at the cars ahead, McLaren and Haas, they are cars we can fight with. They're cars we have the pace to match, potentially go faster than with our straight line speed. The straight line speed of this thing is really good. So a couple of laps later, lap 18, and we are on the back of Hulkenberg as we come up the hill. We've been making overtakes pretty much all the way around this track in places you maybe wouldn't expect. So we're feeling fighty, we're feeling racy.
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Basically pushing him round this corner. Okay, that was odd. I wasn't. What happened there? He just got out the way. It was almost like he was a lapped car, which he's not, by the way. That was for position. So we're up into P6, and now Norris is next on the list. Can we get ourselves a P5 here? Is this possible? That would be sensational if we can. I mean, P4 is out of the equation given how far they are up the road. But switch on the DRS. We haven't got a lot of battery, but we didn't need it.
Nice work, mate. That brings you
We've
up
got
to place.
such good straight line speed, and just like that, we're up into P5 in a Williams in round 2 of season 1. This is incredible. This is going to be this might actually be the high of the season, to be honest with you, which is probably not good for our morale as we move through the next rounds. But heck, I'll take 10 points for finishing 5th. You know. We take those. The front of the field are way off, so I think now on the last lap we're just going to bring it home. We've got Norris just behind us, but up front Charles Leclerc is going to win in Imola for Ferrari. Sensational. Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez come home to complete the podium, and we're going to come round the final corner, keep Norris at bay. We're going to finish P5. Little wiggle of the steering wheel in celebration there. That was a sensational race for us. Second ever race in Formula 1 and a P5. I'll take it.
So another excellent win from Ferrari. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
Well, that was quite the start to our career, wasn't it? Second round, a P5. I mean, so much happened in that race. Where do we even start? We were fighting with Gasly, and then we spun it around on the exit of the final corner, trying to catch everybody up, just pushing that little bit too hard on really hot tyres after the first spin. And that's very sensitive in this game. If you overheat your tyres, once they overheat, they're probably more sensitive than what we're used to in the previous game. So it's we then spun again, and that ultimately brought out the safety car, which in the end played out so well for us, because half the field, 6 or 7 cars, didn't pit under that safety car and had to pit afterwards. A lot of them coming in straight off the back of that safety car, and so we gained a ton of positions, and then we got to fight with the likes of Bottas, Piastri, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, although Hulkenberg dived out the way, so it wasn't really much of a fight going on there. But all in all, a fun race, and Sergio Perez now leads the drivers' standings. That's changed hands. Well, I mean, we had Lewis Hamilton who led to start with. It's now gone over to Perez, so we could have a bit of a title fight here between quite a few drivers. It's going to be fun. Stay tuned. We're going to keep upgrading this Williams car. We're going to get it a solid midfield car, I think, as the season progresses. We've got 16 rounds to do it, so we'll see how it all plays out. Monaco is the next Grand Prix. Not one I've famously gone very well at in previous games, but I'm feeling confident with this new handling model, so we'll see how that goes. If you enjoyed this video, leave us a like, drop us a comment, subscribe if you're new. There's our spin, and I'll see you for the next one.